B&B spoilers. Sheila Carter busts Deacon with Taylor. This week on The Bold and the Beautiful. Spoilers say that Deacon Sharp will continue having secret meeting and pizza dates with his therapist, Taylor Hayes. At this stage, Deacon isn't even hiding his feelings for Taylor anymore. But Deacon is still married, and his wife is going to blow her top when she finds out how much time her husband is spending at therapy. There's a storm brewing in Los Angeles. It's only a matter of time before Sheila Carter, Kimberlyn Brown, walks in on her husband with Taylor. Spoilers say fans won't want to miss a moment of the upcoming drama. Keep reading to find out what's happening next on Bold and Beautiful. Deacon can't fight his feelings. Deacon Sharp, Sean Cannon, can't fight his feelings or stay away from Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig. The Y&RDrama owner's chemistry with his shrink is undeniable. According to Bold and Beautiful spoilers, Deacon and Taylor won't be able to hide their attraction for much longer. Is Sheila going to walk in on a passionate moment between her husband and his therapist? Deacon can't stay away from Taylor, but neither can his wife, Sheila Carter, Kimberlyn Brown. In fact, Sheila has been visiting Taylor at her office almost as much as Deacon. It's really a miracle they haven't bumped into each other there yet. B&B spoilers say all that will change soon, and Sheila's hubby is going to have some explaining to do. Sheila's deadly threat. The restaurant owner has no idea how much danger he is putting his crush in. Just last week on Bold and Beautiful, Sheila Carter was telling Luna's other grandmother, Lee Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda, that she wouldn't hesitate to murder the doc if she crossed a line with Deacon. Do you think that Taylor Hayes is in danger? Will Deacon be able to stop Sheila from going on a crime spree if she walks in on them together? The sun might be shining over the glitzy hills of Los Angeles, but for the residents of the Bold and the Beautiful, a storm is brewing that threatens to level everything in its path. We've seen scandals, we've seen backstabbing, and we've seen the Forrester-Logan Sharp triangle twist in ways we never thought possible. But today brings tragic, heart-wrenching news that will leave fans of Shaycon absolutely devastated. The unthinkable has happened. The woman who clawed her way back from the dead, the woman who thought she finally found a partner who saw her soul, has just had her heart ripped out. Sheila Carter has busted Deacon Sharp with Taylor Hayes. The setup, a house built on sand. For months, we watched an unlikely romance blossom between the town pariah, Sheila Carter, and the reformed bad boy, Deacon Sharp. It was the us against the world story that shouldn't have worked, but somehow did. Deacon gave Sheila a home, a job at Y&RDrama, and most importantly, a sense of belonging. However, as any soap fan knows, peace is just a prelude to a massacre. While Sheila was busy trying to prove she's a changed woman to Finn and Steffi, Deacon was wrestling with a different kind of demon, his growing connection to the world-renowned psychiatrist Taylor Hayes. It started as therapy, then shifted to friendship, and in a moment of sheer impulsive tragedy, it turned into a betrayal that can never be undone. The moment of impact, Sheila's heart shatters. The scene was set with a haunting stillness. Sheila, carrying a bag of takeout and a bottle of wine, arrived at Deacon's apartment above the restaurant. She was glowing, having just had a decent interaction with Hayes at the park. She wanted to celebrate with the man she calls her king. But when the door creaked open, the wine bottle didn't just hit the floor. It shattered, echoing the sound of Sheila's world falling apart. There, in the dim light of the apartment, was Deacon, and in his arms, looking equally horrified and guilt-ridden, was Taylor Hayes. The silence that followed was deafening. No excuses could bridge the gap. No, it's not what it looks like, could erase the sight of Taylor's hand on Deacon's chest. "I trusted you, Deacon," Sheila whispered, her voice cracking in a way we've rarely heard. "I gave you the only piece of my heart that wasn't hardened, and you gave it to her." Why this hit so hard? The tragedy of Sheila Carter. It's easy to label Sheila as a villain. She's earned it 1,000 times over. But what makes this today's very sad news is the humanity behind the horror, the loss of redemption, For the first time in decades, Sheila wasn't plotting. She wasn't holding a gun or a syringe. She was trying to be normal. This betrayal sends a clear message to her. No matter how hard you try, you don't deserve love. The Taylor factor. Taylor is supposed to be the moral compass. Seeing her succumb to a moment of weakness with her rival's partner isn't just a blow to Sheila. It's a stain on Taylor's character that will have the Forresters reeling. Deacon's double life. Deacon has been playing with fire. He wanted the stability Sheila offered, but craved the prestige and goodness that Taylor represents. By trying to have both, he has officially lost everything. The aftermath. A path of destruction. What happens when the most dangerous woman in Los Angeles has nothing left to lose? We aren't just looking at a breakup. We're looking at the potential rebirth of a monster. The ripple effects. Character immediate impact. The long-term fallout. Finn will have to deal with a mother who is spiraling out of control. His fragile bond with Sheila is likely severed forever. Steffi will be horrified by her mother's, Taylor, lapse in judgment, will use this to finally run Sheila out of town for good. Ridge will feel a surge of protectiveness over Taylor, complicating his destiny. With Brooke, that a potential bridge versus Tridge. War is reignited. Brooke will be stunned that her soulmate, Deacon, could be so reckless, might actually find herself feeling estranged. Dark pity for Sheila. Is there any going back? Fans are taking to social media in droves, expressing their shock. The Shakon shippers are mourning the end of an era. While Sheila has done terrible things, there was something undeniably poetic about two outcasts finding solace in one another. Now that poetry has been burned to ashes. Deacon's face in the final frames of today's episode, filled with regret, fear, and a hint of self-loathing, tells the whole story. He knows he's unleashed a version of Sheila Carter that the world isn't prepared to handle. The psychological toll on Taylor. We also have to look at Taylor. Why did she do it? Is it loneliness? Is it the constant pressure of being the perfect alternative to Brooke Logan? By jumping into bed, or at least into the arms, of Deacon Sharp, Taylor has jumped off a metaphorical cliff. She has betrayed her professional ethics and her personal standing in the community. But most importantly, she has made an enemy out of a woman who doesn't believe in moving on. Sheila Carter doesn't get over things. She gets even. The bottom line, a dark day for B&B. This is more than just a plot twist. It's a seismic shift in the show's landscape. The very sad news isn't just about a relationship ending. It's about the death of hope for a woman who is trying to find her way into the light. As Sheila walked out of that apartment, leaving Deacon and Taylor in the wreckage of their mistake, her eyes didn't show anger. They showed a cold, hollow emptiness. And as every B&B fan knows, a hollow Sheila Carter is the most terrifying version that feels as heartbreaking as it is inevitable. The Bold and the Beautiful delivers one of its most emotionally devastating moments yet. Today's very sad news sends shockwaves through Los Angeles as Sheila Carter catches Deacon Sharp in a compromising moment with none other than Taylor Hayes, a discovery that threatens to shatter fragile alliances, reopen old wounds, and ignite a firestorm that could consume multiple families at once. For viewers who have watched Sheila struggle to hold onto her tenuous second chance at happiness, this revelation lands like a punch to the heart. And for Deacon, who has spent years trying to prove he's no longer the man defined by his worst mistakes, this moment could undo everything. A secret meeting that changes everything. It all begins quietly, the most dangerous way secrets always do on B&B. Deacon and Taylor's interaction wasn't meant to be romantic, at least not at first. What started as a private conversation quickly spiraled into something far more emotionally charged. Taylor, already weighed down by guilt over her fractured relationship with Ridge and the unrelenting tension between Hope and Steffi, turned to Deacon in a moment of vulnerability. Deacon, for his part, has been carrying the emotional burden of loving Sheila while knowing that many will never trust her, or him, fully. The two found comfort in shared pain. Lingering glances turned into closeness. Closeness became something neither of them expected or planned. And then Sheila walked in. Sheila Carter's worst fear comes true. For Sheila, this moment is nothing short of devastating. Despite her long, controversial history, Sheila has been trying, truly trying, to live a quieter life. Her relationship with Deacon has been her emotional anchor, the one place where she felt seen, chosen, and loved without conditions. Catching Deacon with Taylor doesn't just feel like betrayal. It feels like confirmation of her deepest fear, that no matter how hard she tries, she will always be disposable. Witnesses say Sheila freezes in the doorway, her expression shifting from confusion to disbelief, then to heartbreak. There's no dramatic scream at first, no immediate explosion, just silence, and that silence is far more chilling. For a woman known for explosive reactions, this quiet devastation signals something far more dangerous. Deacon's world starts to collapse. Deacon knows instantly that there is no talking his way out of this. He didn't mean for things to go this far, but intentions mean nothing when trust is broken. Seeing Sheila's face, the pain, the shock, the realization, hits him harder than any confrontation ever could. This wasn't just a mistake. It was a betrayal of the one person who believed in him when no one else would. Deacon has spent years fighting to escape his past, to prove that he's capable of loyalty, stability, and love. Now, with one devastating moment, it feels like everything he's built is crumbling. And the worst part, he knows Sheila may never forgive him. Taylor's guilt and the fallout. Taylor is immediately overwhelmed by remorse. She never wanted to be that woman. Never wanted to be the cause of someone else's pain, especially not Sheila's. But emotions cloud judgment, and loneliness has a way of pulling people into choices they'll regret forever. Taylor's heartbreak doesn't excuse her actions, and she knows it. The guilt hits hard as she realizes her involvement doesn't just affect Deacon and Sheila. It sends shockwaves through Hope, Steffi, Ridge, and the entire Forrester family. Taylor has always prided herself on integrity and compassion. Now she's forced to confront the reality that she crossed a line she may never fully come back from. Sheila's silence is the scariest part. Longtime fans know Sheila Carter well enough to understand one thing. Her silence is never a good sign. Rather than lashing out immediately, Sheila retreats. She leaves without a word, her heartbreak simmering beneath the surface. Those close to her can sense something is terribly wrong. This isn't the Sheila who plots impulsively. This is a woman processing betrayal and deciding what comes next. Will she expose Deacon and Taylor to everyone? Will she walk away quietly? Or will this betrayal awaken the darker side of Sheila that she's fought so hard to suppress? History suggests that heartbreak is Sheila's most dangerous trigger. Hope caught in the middle again. As if Hope Logan hasn't been through enough, this scandal threatens to pull her back into chaos. Deacon is her father. Taylor is her mother-in-law. Sheila is a woman Hope has tried, reluctantly, to accept for Deacon's sake. This revelation puts Hope in an impossible position, once again forcing her to mediate between people she loves while trying to protect her own fragile peace. Hope has worked tirelessly to break free from toxic cycles, but this moment threatens to drag her right back into the emotional crossfire. And the question looms, will Hope stand by Deacon, or will this betrayal finally push her to walk away? Steffi's inevitable reaction. If there's one person who will have no sympathy for this situation, it's Steffi Forrester. Steffi already despises Sheila and distrusts Deacon. Learning that Taylor, her mother, is now entangled in this mess will send her into a fury. Steffi will feel betrayed on multiple levels. Furious that her mother's actions could give Sheila ammunition and reignite old wars. Expect Steffi to confront Taylor harshly, demanding accountability and answers. This scandal could further fracture an already fragile family dynamic. Ridge faces another emotional earthquake. Ridge Forrester, perpetually caught between Brooke and Taylor, won't escape the fallout either. Even if Taylor insists this was a moment of weakness, Ridge will be forced to confront the emotional distance between them. Was Taylor truly moving on? Or was she seeking comfort wherever she could find it? This revelation could shift Ridge's perspective dramatically and potentially push him back toward Brooke once again. The cycle continues and heartbreak follows. What happens next? This shocking discovery is only the beginning. Will Sheila expose the truth publicly, or keep it close as leverage? Will Deacon fight to win her back, or accept that he's lost her forever? Can Taylor repair the damage she's caused, or will this mistake haunt her indefinitely? One thing is certain. This betrayal changes everything. Today's very sad news reminds fans that on The Bold and the Beautiful, love is fragile, trust is fleeting, and one moment can undo years of hard-fought redemption. As Sheila walks away with heartbreak in her eyes and fury in her soul, viewers are left holding their breath, because when Sheila Carter is hurt, no one is truly daytime safe. Drama. Few characters have walked the razor's edge of redemption and ruin quite like Deacon Sharp. But today, the sad news rippling through The Bold and the Beautiful fandom isn't about a physical departure. It's about a devastating emotional surrender. The man who once clawed his way back from the bottom to become a business owner and a devoted father is now facing his darkest hour. Deacon is officially losing the battle with his own heart, and the fallout promises to leave the Logan, Forrester, and Sharp families in tatters. The breaking point, Deacon's holiday heartbreak. As the 2025 holiday season sweeps through Los Angeles, the contrast between the haves and the have-nots has never been sharper. While Hope, Logan, and Liam Spencer celebrate their recent remarriage, and Bill and Katie find their way back to one another, Deacon Sharp stands in a lonely middle ground. The sad news is simple but heavy. Deacon can no longer fight his feelings for Taylor Hayes, but his loyalty to Sheila Carter is a prison of his own making. For months, fans have watched Deacon play the role of the supportive husband to a reformed Sheila. But the facade is crumbling. The weight of Sheila's secrets, specifically her role in hiding the fact that Luna Nozoa was alive, has created a rift that no amount of Italian dinners at Y&RDrama can fix. Why this is very sad news for fans. The loss of redemption. Deacon worked years to be a man Hope could be proud of. By remaining tethered to Sheila, he is watching that respect evaporate. A love that can never be. His growing connection with Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, is authentic and soft, the exact opposite of the chaotic fire he shares with Sheila. Yet, as a reformed man, he feels he cannot abandon the woman who stood by him when no one else would. The spiral of Sheila Carter. We know that when Sheila feels Deacon slipping away, she doesn't just cry, she destroys. The sad news here is the foreshadowing of a tragedy that Deacon seems powerless to stop. The Taylor factor, a dangerous connection. The most heart-wrenching scenes of late have featured Deacon in Taylor's therapy office. What started as professional guidance has morphed into a deep, soul-bearing intimacy. Deacon's confession that he can't fight it anymore wasn't just about his attraction to Taylor. It was an admission that he is miserable. He is a man who craves the light, Hope, the Logans, a legitimate life, but feels he belongs in the dark with Sheila. Taylor, too, is at a crossroads. As a world-renowned psychiatrist, she knows the ethical lines she is crossing. But after her own heartbreaks with Ridge, she finds a strange, kindred spirit in Deacon, another outsider who has spent a lifetime fighting for a seat at the table. "I look at you, and I see the life I could have had," Deacon told Taylor in a recent episode. "And then I go home, and I see the life I deserve." The Sheila shadow, a marriage built on landmines. While Deacon struggles with his feelings, Sheila Carter is far from oblivious. The sad news today is that Sheila's psycho mode is officially being triggered. After being blackballed from Hope and Liam's wedding, Sheila is in a state of high alert jealousy. She has seen the way Deacon looks when he returns from his sessions with Taylor. She sees the invitations he receives that don't include her name. The stakes for the Sharp family. Hope Logan's safety. If Sheila spirals because she loses Deacon, Hope is the first person she will blame for poisoning his mind. Deke Sharp's future. Deacon's son, Deke Harrison Cohn, is already on shaky ground at Forrester Creations. If his father becomes embroiled in a scandalous affair or a violent breakup with Sheila, Deke's newfound stability could vanish. The Y&RDrama legacy, Deacon's restaurant, his pride and joy, is staffed by Sheila. A domestic explosion could mean the end of his professional redemption as well. What happens next? The rumors are swirling that a major confrontation is coming before the new year. With Deacon unable to fight his feelings for Taylor, he is essentially handing Sheila a match and a can of gasoline. Is this the end of Shaycon? Most fans hope so, but the cost of that breakup may be higher than anyone is prepared to pay. If Deacon chooses Taylor, he isn't just choosing a new woman. He is declaring war on the most dangerous woman in B&B history. Will Deacon leave Los Angeles? While there is no official news of Sean Cannon leaving the show, in fact, he recently celebrated 25 years in the role, the sad news refers to the death of his peace of mind. Deacon is a man who finally had it all: a business, a daughter who loved him, and a stable life. And he is watching it burn because he followed his heart to the one woman he can't have. Today's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful delivers an emotional gut punch that longtime fans won't soon forget. In a story soaked in regret, longing, and painful self-awareness, Deacon Sharp finds himself at war with the one enemy he has never been able to defeat: his own heart. No matter how hard he tries to bury his emotions, Deacon can't fight his feelings anymore, and the fallout is heartbreaking. For a man who has spent most of his life battling his past mistakes, today's developments feel especially cruel. Just when Deacon thought he had finally found balance between redemption and desire, between love and responsibility, his carefully constructed world begins to crack. And at the center of it all is a love he knows he shouldn't want, but simply cannot let go. Deacon's inner battle reaches a breaking point. From the moment Deacon appeared on screen today, it was clear something was different. Gone was the confident bravado and easy charm he often uses to mask his pain. Instead, viewers saw a man weighed down by thoughts he can no longer silence. His eyes told the story before his words ever did. This wasn't just longing, it was torment. Deacon has tried everything to move forward. He's told himself that the past is the past, that some lines should never be crossed again. He's promised himself that this time he'll do the right thing, even if it hurts. But the heart doesn't operate on logic, and Deacon's feelings refuse to fade. What makes this storyline so devastating is that Deacon knows better. He understands the consequences. He knows how much damage his choices have caused before, not just to himself, but to the people he loves. And yet, despite all that hard-earned wisdom, his emotions are stronger than his resolve. Love that refuses to die. The tragedy of Deacon's situation lies in the depth of his feelings. This isn't a fleeting attraction or a moment of weakness. This is love, deep, complicated, and persistent. The kind of love that lingers long after it should be gone, resurfacing when you least expect it. In today's episode, Deacon is forced to confront the truth he's been avoiding. Every attempt to distract himself, every vow to stay away, every rational excuse he's made, all of it has failed. His feelings haven't diminished. If anything, they've grown stronger. Viewers could feel the weight of that realization as Deacon stood alone, wrestling with memories that refused to stay buried. Each flash of the past only sharpened the pain, reminding him of what he once had and what he may never have again, and the price of wanting more. One of the most heartbreaking aspects of this story is Deacon's overwhelming guilt. He isn't just sad because he's in love, he's sad because he believes he doesn't deserve to be. Years of bad decisions have left scars that still ache, and Deacon is painfully aware of how easy it would be to repeat old patterns. Today, that fear takes center stage. Deacon doesn't want to hurt anyone. He doesn't want to be the cause of chaos, heartbreak, or betrayal. He spent so long trying to prove that he's changed, that he's capable of being better. Giving in to his feelings feels like a step backward, a confirmation of everything his critics have always said about him. And yet, denying his heart feels just as destructive. This emotional stalemate leaves Deacon trapped, caught between who he wants to be and what he truly feels. It's a no-win situation, and viewers can't help but ache for him as he struggles to choose the lesser of two pains. A quiet moment that says everything. One of the most powerful scenes today didn't involve shouting or dramatic confrontations. Instead, it was a quiet moment, Deacon alone with his thoughts, that said more than any argument ever could. As he reflected on his journey, the sadness in his expression was unmistakable. This wasn't a man chasing excitement or forbidden thrills. This was someone mourning the fact that his heart refuses to cooperate with his better judgment. In that stillness, the truth became unavoidable. Deacon can't fight his feelings because they are a part of him. Ignoring them won't make them disappear. Pretending they don't exist only deepens the pain. It was a raw, vulnerable portrayal that reminded fans why Deacon remains one of the show's most compelling and tragic characters. The ripple effect on everyone around him. Of course, Deacon's emotional turmoil doesn't exist in a vacuum. His inability to control his feelings threatens to impact everyone connected to him, and that's where the sadness truly multiplies. If Deacon gives in, people will get hurt. Trust will be shaken. Old wounds will reopen. If he doesn't, he risks losing a piece of himself forever, resigning himself to a life of quiet regret. Either choice comes with consequences, and today's episode makes it painfully clear that the storm is only beginning. The tension is building, and the emotional stakes are higher than ever. Viewers are left wondering not if Deacon's struggle will come to light, but when and at what cost. A man changed but not free. What makes this storyline resonate so deeply is how much Deacon has grown. This isn't the reckless man from years past. He's tried to be accountable. He's tried to learn from his mistakes. He's tried to choose stability over chaos. But growth doesn't erase feelings. It only makes you more aware of them. Today's very sad news is that even a changed man can still be haunted by old loves. Even someone determined to do better can feel powerless against their own heart. Deacon's journey is a reminder that redemption isn't a straight line. It's messy, painful, and often filled with impossible choices. Fans react to Deacon's heartbreak. Unsurprisingly, fans are already reacting strongly to today's emotional developments. Many sympathize deeply with Deacon, praising the show for allowing him to be vulnerable rather than villainous. Others fear where this path might lead, worried that heartbreak is inevitable no matter what he chooses. One thing is clear, viewers are invested. Deacon's pain feels real, and his struggle mirrors something universal. The idea that sometimes the hardest battles aren't fought with others, but within ourselves. What happens next? As the bold and the beautiful moves forward, Deacon's unresolved feelings promise to drive some of the most emotional storytelling yet. Will he finally admit the truth to himself and to others? Or will he sacrifice his own happiness to protect those around him? Today's episode doesn't offer easy answers. Instead, it leaves us with a heavy sense of sorrow and anticipation. Deacon's heart is at a crossroads, and whichever path he chooses will change everything. Final thoughts. A tragic human moment. Today's very sad news on B&B isn't about scandal or shock twists. It's about something far more painful. Unshakable love and the cost of denying it. Deacon Sharp's inability to fight his feelings reminds us that even the strongest resolve can crumble when faced with the truth of the heart. As the story continues, one thing is certain. Deacon's emotional struggle is far from over. And for fans watching at home, the heartbreak is only just beginning.